Alright, we are live now. So for Fibonacci, please, if you cannot hear me, just let me know. If you cannot hear me, let me know. If you cannot hear me, let me know. Just type something. Alright, so thank you. Mute yourself. Now, when we're talking about Fibonacci, please mute yourself. Alright, when we're talking about Fibonacci, let me drop some notes. Draw from highest points to lowest points in a downtrend. And draw from lowest points to highest points in an uptrend. So the first thing we need to know about Fibonacci is that you need to draw from the highest points to the lowest points in a downtrend and draw it from the lowest points to the highest points in a downtrend. So let's practicalize this. Now we can see from here, let's use, okay, we're using 1 hour time frame because that's time frame for day trading. So yes, so you can see we have a nice downtrend down here. Okay, so what does the rule says in a downtrend? Draw it from the highest points to the lowest points in a downtrend. So you can see this is a downtrend and this is the highest point of the downtrend and this is the lowest point of the downtrend. So you can just go to your tools, Fibonacci, then draw it from the highest points. You start from the week, then you draw it to the lowest points. You can see that. So that is the way to draw a Fibonacci line. You draw it from the highest point to the lowest point in a downtrend, while you draw it from the lowest point to highest point in the downtrend. Now you can see that we've drawn it from the highest point to the lowest point in a downtrend. From what we can see here, it means now most of the time people use Fibonacci to execute trade. They just see that, okay, it's already on 61.8, let me sell or let me buy. It's already on 0.5, let me sell or let me buy. It's already on 0.318, let me sell. No, it's not meant to be like that. When you are using your Fibonacci, you are meant to use it as confirmation when you want to enter. Okay, I'm expecting a retest back to this zone here. I'm expecting a sell back to this zone here. Then I'll draw my Fibonacci from this highest point to the lowest point, and I'll see and I'll check if the Fibonacci falls on that line and if the golden number of the Fibonacci falls also on that line. Now the Fibonacci's have golden numbers, which are these three numbers: 0.618, 0.5 and 0.382. Now you can see I've drawn my Fibonacci from the highest point to the lowest point here, and I'm also expecting a retest to this extent back to this place. Now I've now drawn my Fibonacci that, okay, let me use Fibonacci to confirm if that place is a very strong area. But fortunately, you can see that area is falling on 0.382. That is the way to use Fibonacci. And Fibonacci acts as, let me write that soon. It acts as support on an uptrend and resistance on a downtrend. Please mute yourself, Joshua. Yeah. So from what we can see, it says Fibonacci acts as support in an uptrend, while it acts as resistance on a downtrend. Now it means when you can see a nice downtrend it acts as resistance whenever the Fibonacci tries to move closer to any of whenever the market tries to move closer to the Fibonacci levels. Like here now, you can see it's on downtrend, and we're expecting markets to push up to this retest area, then we sell. So it means it's acting as resistance on this downtrend, while for support is otherwise. You can see we're having a resistance here at this point. This place is a support, now it is broken, so when it validates this point, it gives us as a resistance. Yeah, and you can see it's also on a downtrend from this area. It's also on the downtrend from this point to this point, then it's acting as resistance at that area, exactly at that area, and it acts as support on an uptrend. So let's check for an uptrend in this market. Okay, and don't forget the rules. On an uptrend, you draw it from the lowest point to the highest point. So this is the highest point we can see here. Let's say this market has not started forming. Let's say that market has not started forming. Let's say the market is still somewhere here. So you can see this nice uptrend. You draw it from the lowest point to the highest point on an uptrend. Let's check the rule. Draw from lowest point to highest point in an uptrend. So when you're drawing it, you draw it from the lowest point you can see on the graph and to the highest point. Don't forget you are drawing it across the wicks. Then let's say you want to enter a buy at this position. Let's say you want to open a buy position at this point. Let's just say, for example, and you've drawn your Fibonacci from lowest point to the highest point, and you want to enter maybe a trade at this point. Then you can see, nice, my Fibonacci is also acting as 0.618. It means you have double confirmation that, okay, I want to enter based on my normal analysis, and the Fibonacci is also giving me confirmation to enter. So can you see now? You just need to be sure. Then after you see that, okay, Fibonacci is acting as support, now you can see that markets came back to touch the Fibonacci and acting as a support at that area. The second rule says it acts as support on an uptrend and resistance on a downtrend. So we are on an uptrend now. We want to enter at this point. You can see it's acting as support at that place. It's acting as support at that place. So don't forget the three golden numbers of the Fibonacci: 0.61, 0.5, and 0.3. And also don't forget that there are some advanced Fibonacci that have different values apart from this one. So but this is the main one we have here. These are the default settings that we have: 0.6, 0.328, and 0.5. So when you want to enter your trades, just check on Fibonacci. Okay, what is the Fibonacci saying? Then you execute your trade based on the confirmation you have. Okay, I want to enter with support and resistance, I want to enter with breakout and retest, and Fibonacci is also telling me to enter because it's giving me a point as that 0.5, 0.61 is or 0.382. So I believe I've been able to cover about Fibonacci, because I don't think I've talked about Fibonacci in most of the classes. So let me know if you have any question. I'll stop the recording now and save it and send it to anyone who needs it. Alright.